So hello, thank you to the next episode of our This Big Meaningful Life series. This is a series in which we talk about various things that we're doing in our life in hopes that hearing other people's journeys inspires us towards our own journey. And so I have with me today Randy Veraguas. Did I get it right?
It's funny, I say Veraguas.
Veraguas.
Yeah, but I was in Spain, it's a Spanish name, and I would say, I'm Veraguas, and they go, sí, Veraguas. And I'm like, oh, maybe it is Veraguas, but I don't say it.
Yes.
So I'm mispronouncing my own name.
I feel it like we named our oldest Josette, but you would say Josette.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but we are like, it's America, so we're not going to push the boundaries. So
exactly.
the Josette, we're like, no, it's a Z sound in the middle. But so I feel you. And we are in the middle of her workplace. So she is a sales director.
Yep.
And the name of this place is what?
I'm glad you asked. It's Atria Marina Place.
Okay.
And it's funny because it's in Quincy, and there are lots of similar sounding businesses. Sure. There's the Atrium. And there's the Atrius.
Yeah.
And so Atrius is like a health clinic, the Atrius medical place. Atrium is a senior living community for people with memory problems. So I say Atrium Memory. Atria, where I work, Atria for everybody.
Aha.
Yeah.
Very nice.
See?
This is good.
Yeah.
And so you're the sales director.
Yes.
How did you come into this work? Because you have a big story. Like, this is not all that you do.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to be talking about balance, right?
Yes, we are.
And we have, 10 hours? Because that's how long it's going to take.
And because I'm great at balance, and I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, sure. Yesterday was the first day I came to work, and I forgot to put mascara on. And I'm like, this is so ironic. Tomorrow I'm talking about a balance. And you have to know when to wear mascara and when you don't have to wear mascara. But it's really, really funny. So how did I get to this position is just a fluke, I was living in Greece and lost everything and came back to the United States penniless. Yeah. And moved in with my parents, with my husband and my son. And I was just thinking, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna be? And my dad said, you have a marketing degree from Northeastern. You should market the geriatric psych units. I'm like, I don't know anything about that. And he's like, of course you do, because he's a psychologist, and we kind of grew up listening to all that. And thanks to nepotism, I got hired, and I went from the acute geriatric world to a VNA, which is a Visiting Nurse Association. And while I was working for them, I kept coming back to Atria. I was giving presentations. I really liked the staff. I really befriended a lot of the residents. That dinging you hear is the elevator, because we're in the third floor country kitchen here, so there's gonna be people all over the place and elevators opening. And I didn't even apply. They just said, we've got a position open for sales director and we want you to do it. Mm-hmm. And I just went, twist my arm. I was already referring a lot of people here, and it just made sense. It was the smoothest move I've ever had.
And let me just say, I've been here not that long, but she knows everybody's name. So it's pretty phenomenal.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Candace.
Hi, Randy. Case in point, right? So, and then what else do you do?
Oh, yeah. I do a lot, and I was even on my way here thinking, I'm going to write it down. I wrote down what I have to do and then what I want to do.
I see your want list is quite long.
Yeah, it is. So I'm a parent, a single parent of a boy who's now 16 and the love of my life. I'm so proud of him. His name is Haven, and he's a junior right now at Hull High. And he's number one in his class.
Oh my God.
He's gonna kill me for saying that, but I was never number one in my class. So I'm getting vicarious thrills through him.
Totally.
Yeah, and I'm a very bad parent, because I'm like, let's go for a walk. And he'll say, no, I have to study. I'm like, he knows balance better than I do. And yeah, but, and it's paying off for him. So it's interesting. So I'm a parent. I have this daytime job, which is 24/7.
Right.
The only sales director here. That's about it that I have to do, But then I think it's important to have fitness, to stay fit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not the fittest that I've ever been in my life, but I try. I think that's important.
Yeah.
Sleep is important, and I love getting 9 hours of sleep.
Yes.
And people say, "Oh my gosh, Randy, you're so full of energy," and I say, "Not at 9 o'clock at night."
Right.
Boom, out like a light.
Yeah.
You too?
Oh, absolutely. There's this funny, the Ennea dog, and they showed a 3 on the Enneagram, which I am, and you've suspected you are.
Yeah.
And you just see the dog like fall over, and it says a 3, can get very tired from other activities, but they recover quickly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I think it's very true. So by 9 o'clock, I'm really not good to anybody.
Yeah, exactly. And do you sleep easily?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember my head hitting the pillow. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm gone. And so when we have little ones in the house, it's really hard. I would also prefer 9 hours.
Oh yeah, that's difficult. But
Yeah.
it'll be a blink of an eye, and you're gonna say, "Oh my gosh, my kids are adults." And
I know
that.
it's already half true, right? Because the oldest is 10.
Yeah.
So
That is half true.
yeah.
Scary. Oh my gosh.
So I feel you on the fitness though.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you fit it in? There's the walk.
Yeah, exactly. I try to walk. I used to be a Zumba instructor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I just don't do that anymore. I don't have the time to manage the class, you know, and get the new routines down and do it the right way. Mm-hmm. So I like to go out dancing with my friends, and that's really fun. Although I'm 48, and I think I have sciatica pain right now.
Oh man,
Which is so bizarre. I never had it in my life. And so working here at Atria Marina Place, I befriend a lot of physical therapists. Mm-hmm. So I think the best one came to me and she said, "Are you limping?" I'm like, "Definitely." And she's like, "What happened?" So she felt my pelvic bone, and she said, "When did you fall?" I'm like, "I didn't fall."
When I was 5.
Yeah, right. She said, "Your pelvis is kind of tilted up like this." And I was like, could high kicks do that? She's like, "Yeah, I high kicked my pelvis out of whack."
No, and you've been walking like that for like years?
No, for about 6 weeks.
Oh, okay, I got it.
So she gave me exercises to do. I went to a chiropractor. He's great. So when you say fitness, I try to do it myself, but I guess I kind of went overboard. And I know that I did it high kicking. I moved my pelvis because I tried to lift one leg and it wasn't that high, so I just kept kicking my other leg that I could go real high.
Sure.
And I tilted my body out of whack.
Man, this is the problem with age.
I know, right? And so I just had a person come in because I run a group called 5 Score and So Much More. It's a networking group for professionals who work with the senior population. If you do, you're welcome to join. It's only $2,000 a year. It's free. It's totally free. I'm kidding. But you're welcome to pay $2,000.
Yes.
I'll give it to your church. So I had a fitness guru in. He had been in the Navy for 30 years, and he literally, one of the first things he said to us is, "If you're over 40, don't jog or run anymore."
Oh.
So I said, "Hallelujah," because
sold.
yeah, I will do that. So I'm just gonna keep walking.
I love it. That's excellent.
What do you do are you still dancing?
So I don't do the Zumba as much. We do get up at 5:45.
Whoa.
Like 5 days a week. And so we do Beachbody programs. I don't know if you're familiar with Beachbody.
I am.
Sometimes I started with 21 Day Fix, a few years back. So I did that. I did 21 Day Fix Extreme. I did Hammer and Chisel. Right now we've been doing Lift 4.
Wow.
So it's like big weights.
Oh my gosh, that's so good for your bones. It builds bone density.
Right.
And women lose that.
That's what I am told.
Mm-hmm.
So today was a cardio day.
All right.
And, but a lot of days, like the leg ones, they're like 30-pound weights because you need big weights for big muscles.
Yeah.
And then shoulders, I'm much weaker.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my fitness world.
Cool. Yeah. Well, what this guy was saying is as we get older, the most important thing to keep fit is just your core. So twists like this, things like that. And I was like, yeah, that's where I'm the weakest. Mm-hmm. And that's why I have, the nerve pain.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
Then
I have one more on my list.
Yeah.
To feel a connection. I feel like I have to have that every day. I have to wake up and feel a sense of connection somehow. And I know for people that could be religion, that could be family, that could be work, good friends. You know, I go to the senior centers a lot and give presentations, and I applaud them. I say, you're already here. You have this sense of connection. That's so important.
Yeah.
So
Those
are my haves.
That's what I have to do.
Yeah.
And then there's
my wants.
Yes.
And it's not balanced, but they're not equally weighted. So here's my list. Short and long.
Yes.
My wants.
And I feel ya.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so much art in your want list, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it's great. As I've gotten older, even though my wants are more like for sure, like this is what I want, I know that now, I've also gotten better at saying no, which was very hard to learn.
Yeah.
Are you good at saying no?
I'm not good at saying no. I work really hard, and when I do say no, it's with about 7 apologies, right?
Exactly.
I really want to say yes. I just think I might die. So, but I'll take on a lot, right?
Yeah.
I'll just hold it. And there is a part of me, like when the plate is full, I feel very energetic.
Yeah.
So, like a challenge really can energize me, but then it tips the scales because family, work, working out, eating, sleeping, and like I see nutrition on your have list, right? Like I really do pay attention to that and like cook good meals for my family, and so.
Me too. I didn't talk about it, but a couple years ago, my son and I became vegetarians. We're not vegan, but we're vegetarian. And so, you know, we're not the people that go to a restaurant and say, we're vegetarian, you know.
I'd like a salad.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll just order a salad, you know,
Yes.
and it's kind of a private thing, but it's because of Facebook. I see so many videos of people cuddling chickens and cuddling cows and cuddling fish. There's one video where there's a fish. The man goes like this and the fish jumps into his hand and he can pet the fish. And I'm just thinking, I don't want to eat that. Isn't that funny?
I understand.
But I don't know if it's that or what happened, but we shed weight and we feel great. I have more energy. And even if it's a placebo effect, I'll take it.
Sure.
I feel wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had at least cut back.
Okay.
Dom's family, it's like a big farm, and I think we might be ousted from the family if we ever go all the way. But 2 meals a week, we try to do vegetarian or vegan.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
So, the Whole Bowls cookbook by Allison Day has been a total godsend. Because it's like all the food in a bowl, and it's really interesting in texture and all the components.
Oh.
Like your fats, your veggies, your starch, and healthy, like crunch. So
Good.
I'm really into it.
All right. That's healthy.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yay.
Actually, tonight will come from that, and so did yesterday.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you notice the feeling right like the next day. You feel better when you're not eating meat?
I think, so I have a gluten intolerance, so that has this whole complexity for me. But I had watched a video that shows like what do your arteries and your veins look like right after you've eaten the meat.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's profound. But then also the farms, so just the amount of meat that we consume and what that means for the animals and the people raising those animals. Like it's actually both, right?
Yeah.
The health of the people because of what we need to produce so much meat that we're consuming, and then the animals.
Yeah.
So I somehow got my husband to watch the documentary and agreed to 2 nights a week.
Good.
Like a little over a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's what we do now.
Yeah, excellent. And everybody says, oh, but you're not getting enough protein. There's so much protein in vegetables. And there's so much protein in like the whole grain pastas. And you can even get pasta made out of the vegetables. 21 grams of protein in like these squiggle pastas.
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you can easily get pasta like that. I mean, not pasta, protein.
Protein. You can get so much pasta. It's like everywhere. That is true. I'll take all the pasta.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, we're talking a little bit about time being difficult. Tell me, like, what are the difficulties to keep you going in your life?
Yeah, well, it is easier for me to say no, but I do so much, and even like writing it down, like, oh yeah, I forgot I did that. Oh, I forgot I did that. And I'm really good at I think it's the actress in me. You learn to compartmentalize. So I can be on stage, I can know my lines, I can listen for my cue, and at the same time be totally in character and hear the audience applause.
Yeah.
Is the audience getting it? Do I need to be louder? You know? And it's funny to have a camera here because as an actress, you're not supposed to break this wall.
Right.
But I'm including you.
That's right.
Because it's a different scenario, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
And so as I was, trying to think about everything I do, I think I do it fairly well because when I'm painting, I'm painting. Mm-hmm. Like Haven, my son, will even say, your phone's ringing. What? I can hear his voice, but nobody else's. I didn't know my phone was ringing because I'm painting. Uh-huh. And I think that's how I'm able to do it. So I'm not really a multitasker. I'm not painting and I'm on the phone with sales, It's like I can do it all if I compartmentalize. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So
I understand that.
Yeah, that's how it works for me. That's how I can balance so much.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's little life hacks, right? It's just random things. Like every now and again, throw a load of laundry in.
Yeah.
And keep walking. Because you don't have to watch it.
Right.
So, but Dominic will make fun of me because when I'm typing, I will look at him, but he says that there's like a vacant stare.
Yes!
I'm still going.
You're in your head.
And I'm responding to him, but he's like, you just look like you're not there at all. So it happened recently. I was with a friend getting on the train, and I was answering a text and talking to her, and then she's like, oh, maybe you don't hear me right now. I was like, no, I actually heard everything you said. But there's that, like, you can only get so many things going.
Exactly.
Apparently my face cannot get going if I'm doing
Oh my gosh, Christina, that is so funny. My sister can tell if I'm on the phone with her and I'm talking and then all of a sudden I'll get an email. She's like, oh, I just lost you. And I'm like, no, I can hear you. She's like, nope, I lost you mentally. I'm like, you did? You actually did.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a good sister.
Yeah.
She knows you.
Yeah. So I'm the oldest of 5, and maybe that's helped me balance. I've seen my mother do incredible stunts as a parent.
Yeah.
Balancing everything. You are familiar with that with your big family.
Absolutely.
I mean, you just said you got your last child 2 weeks earlier. You didn't know that was going to happen.
No, yeah. That was crazy.
Talk about juggling.
Yes, yeah. No, that's a horrible experience. Like, it was magical.
Yeah.
But there's something about you that just says, what do I do with my life? Like, how do I make this work now?
Yeah.
But people are remarkable. So many people came in and helped us.
Good.
Came around us. So it's great.
Excellent.
Are there other things that feel difficult to you?
Yeah, still some things that I want. And so if you're hearing other voices, we're in the 3rd floor country kitchen, and there's like a, what would you call that?
Floor.
Yeah, well, there's a 4th floor, and it has no wall. And so people can literally like look down on us. And they are. Hi.
Hi.
We're shooting.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking for Jack.
That's all right. I don't see Jack.
Okay, thank you.
It's funny.
Sorry
So
about that.
that's okay, Carrie. I'm in a book club.
Uh-huh.
And this is kind of funny. A friend of mine said, do you want to join? And I heard meteorology class. So I was like, yes, I love meteorology. So yes, I want to join this meteorology class. That's what I heard. And, we hear what we want to hear, right?
Yeah, right.
And so I joined this class. It's right down the street from where I live at the Hull Life Saving Museum. Mm-hmm. And I bought my meteorology book. It's very legit, right? And I'm studying, and I'm not really learning anything. And I'm thinking the teacher's a little off as far as like teaching. He's just kind of like reading some quotes out of the book. And so then I have a TV show called Chatting with the Chamber, because I'm a member of the board of directors for the Hull Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
So I wanted a TV show where I could get in front of the camera, because I love it, if you haven't noticed.
Right.
And talk to people, business people, and get the viewing audience to know them. And then if they know them better, maybe use their business, maybe choose their wares. And so I was talking to the manager of the Hull Life Saving Museum, and I said, I'm enjoying this meteorology class I'm in. And she said, do you mean the book club? And I was like, yeah, I do. I mean,
The book club.
I mean the book club. Bingo, it all made sense. I joined a book club.
Right.
Thinking it was a meteorology class.
Yes.
I was like, that's
Really
why
weird.
he's just reading from the book, and we're all supposed to just read from the book. Durr.
It's like a discussion.
Yes. Yep. So sometimes doing everything that I do doesn't work out, but this was like a happy mistake because now we're reading Six Frigates. It's a really cool book about the beginning of the U.S. Navy, and it's everything we're going to be reading is nautical. And so I'm like, that's okay. I got my fill of meteorology. We could talk clouds later.
Yes.
And then, and so now I'm in this, I can say I'm in a book club. And I never thought I'd ever be in a book club, but
Yes.
it's fun.
But here you are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
I was like, ah, yeah. Right on the air. And
Right. No, I totally get it. And then talk to me a little bit about who comes alongside of you to help you in this life that you're living.
my mother. So this weekend coming up is Mother's Day, and I'm gonna cry because she is my rock. I don't know what I'd do without her.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
gonna cry.
Yeah, she's amazing, and she just went through like a whole year of immunotherapy because she had really bad skin cancer.
Oh.
And yeah, but she's fine now.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, she had 2 knee operations, and I'm like, you're bionic now, you know, and she's amazing. She's
Yeah.
just 20 years older than me. I just bought a house in October, and I just moved in Easter night.
Oh, wow.
So there was like a lot of time there. We thought it was just gonna need elbow grease, but we ended up taking it down to the studs. And when I say we, I mean my mom and everybody else.
And
So
then she got knee replacement.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really, really funny. So I mean, things you just wouldn't expect, she's just there for me. She's the one that's helped me through all of this, and I don't know what I'm gonna do if anything ever happened to her. Isn't that
Yeah.
awful?
Well,
But-
at least you have a sister that knows.
yeah. Oh, and
You're
my
so
sisters
intimate.
helped. Yeah, I'm the oldest of 5. Everybody's chipped in. I mean, it's incredible. I feel so grateful for the family I was given. You
Yeah.
know, like you don't get to pick your family, right? I'm
Right.
so lucky.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Me
That's the
too.
nucleus, huh?
Yes.
It's really good.
So lucky. So there really aren't words to express how grateful I am
Yeah.
for it. For
And
my
do
family.
they help you focus on balance?
Oh yeah.
Do they talk to you about it?
Oh yeah. They say, Randy, you're going crazy. And I know that term can be, negative these days. And, I always say mental illness is serious, but there should be no stigma to it. I have not been diagnosed with a mental illness, but wouldn't surprise me.
Sure.
But like I said, my father's a psychologist, so I can pick up the phone and get therapy anytime I want. And he's the kind of guy where I'm like, Dad, I just feel like ripping his face off. And he'll go, that's normal.
That's
normal. Anything I say, that's normal. That's normal. So I feel normal,
Sure.
And then my mother's the logical one, and she'll go, oh no, that's crazy. You should not be feeling that. That is absolutely insane, Randy. I'm like,
Oh my
okay, great. So it's funny when
So balance in
even in my parents. When we were little, if we did something wrong, we'd go to my dad and he'd go, that's okay. And if we needed, like, does this make me look fat? We'd go to my mom, does this make me look horrible? And she'd go, yes it does. Like, oh, thank you. Okay, did not know that, Always got the truth from her, even if it hurt.
Yeah.
And we knew my dad, you're never gonna know if it's the truth or not, but he's gonna make you feel great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad. It's just what I wanted.
And that is helpful to have those two voices.
Isn't that funny?
Just a little bit, right? So that you
Yeah.
don't walk out and completely embarrass yourself, but you don't feel so horrible about yourself either.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Yeah.
I can
yeah.
appreciate it. I
Yeah.
can see it and feel it.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. So yeah, I guess I feel very balanced. And maybe it's from my parents. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah. That's a funny thing. But so
How's
then-
your tree?
I don't know. I mean, So I mentioned I'm a 3. Like part of a 3, like you access tears very quickly there, which is really good. So if you're a 3, maybe you have a 4 wing, or maybe you're just more in touch than I am. But I will often turn off all the emotions in order to accomplish my life. Like, I feel something, but I need to deal with that later when I have time.
Yeah.
So it like goes over here so that I can do this right now.
Well, I didn't do the full blow ugly cry, so I controlled myself a little bit.
Yes. Yes, and so quiet cars is where I will find all my emotion.
Oh.
I could like if I ever needed to do a scene for a movie, I have it planned. Mm-hmm. Like if I need to cry, I just need to take a quick drive, turn on the radio, and think about all the gloom that could happen, and I'll be there. Because that's where I imagine all the worst possible scenarios.
Oh, how sad!
It's really funny. I'm like, how does this happen?
Wow.
So, but I think it's very typical for a 3 to be like, well, that has to go over here till later.
Okay.
Because right now I'm busy.
Ah, I see.
So talk to me. If you were to look back at a younger version of you, you can pick what age you want to go to, but what would you tell yourself? What advice do you have?
You know what? This is interesting that you're bringing this up because when I just turned 15 and then something horrible happened. I had an outer body experience because of the horribleness of it, and I got to tell my younger self a message. Yeah. And I didn't realize who I was. So I was staring at myself in the bathroom, looking at myself. I was 15 to 15. And then I was up here in the corner, and I was wiser. And I didn't realize it, but I was much, much older, and I was 46 up here, and I put that together when I turned 46. This is a long story, but I'm giving you the skinny. And I said to my younger self, your life just changed, and you're going to be okay. I heard my voice. I could see the back of my hair. I could see the blood dripping down my legs. I could see myself staring at myself in the mirror, and I was cool and wise and comforting. And even when I was in the mirror, I could hear the voice up here. And I was saying, like, okay. And I was just shaking. It was horrible. But up here, I was just like, it's going to be okay. Your life's going to be okay. You're going to go through the movements. Just go through the movements. And that's what I've been doing since then. I've been going through the movements. And I have a motto where I'd rather try and fail than fail to try. I love chiasmas. That's just the coolest thing ever. When I got married, I said, I'm going to go for it. I go for it with my whole heart and my whole soul. Because I always say, I would rather say, oops, I failed giving it my all. And I did that once with a job, than just do it kind of wiggly like this and then not do it well. That's my own fault. But if I fail and I gave it my all, I don't feel that bad. I feel like I succeeded at trying. I am an eternal optimist.
Yes, yeah.
So that's what I tell my younger self. I already know it. I have already done it. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
No, I mean, if it is true that, as you suspect, like 3s always turn failures into positives. They look for the bright side of it.
Yeah.
Like they look for where does this go now?
Yeah.
So I do feel you. I totally understand.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a crazy experience.
No kidding. Yeah. It's really funny, and I think it's always changing too. At my 10-year high school reunion, we were asked, what would you tell yourself, knowing what you know now? And a lot of people said, I would have bought Google, I would have bought Apple. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's really cool. My brain doesn't go to the finance world. I'm just a philanthropist at heart. I never think of making money, and that's a shame.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's okay. But my quote to my younger self then, 10 years out of high school, was, I would have told somebody when that horrible thing happened to me, I would have told somebody then. But it's funny, now that I'm older and I look back, I don't think I would have changed anything. I like the outcome. I can say I'm comfortable with what happened. And maybe like a 3, something good came out of that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
It really did.
Yeah. I
It's
understand.
weird.
And that's kind of what people say, right? That there is this opportunity for good to come out of bad.
I so believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and at times you could think, well, go ahead and try, right?
Yeah.
But you're years removed from being 15 now, so you have
Yeah.
a lot of like possible hindsight. Not that we're so many years.
Yeah.
Let's not overdo it.
Right.
But still, like,
Yeah.
there's enough there to go, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Like, I am okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
It's a really big deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So is there anything else that you would tell us about balance, or?
Oh, I love to read, and I make time to read, and so not only am I in the book club, but I volunteer for Talk Information Center. It's a really cool radio station out of Marshfield where WATD is, and they record all sorts of things for the visually impaired. So I also love to write, and I write for the South Shore Senior
The
News.
South Shore Senior News. I like
Yeah.
how senior is just this little part right here.
Oh, cool. I never even noticed that. The South Shore Senior
Yeah.
And I write an article called Dare to Downsize, because
Oh.
I've downsized so many times. And so I started going to Talk Information Center and just reading my article. And then I thought, that's kind of narcissistic. I was like, how about I read this whole newspaper? And they're like, yeah, sure. So every month, and this is a free publication, I read the South Shore Senior News, and I did stumble over that quite a few times. Say the South Shore Senior News.
South Shore Senior News.
You did it very well. I
It's all that
stumbled.
opera background.
Okay, yeah.
South Shore Senior News. It's not that easy.
Now sing it. South Shore.
South Shore Senior News. Yeah.
It's senior.
Oh yes. South Shore Senior News.
Play
Yeah.
Bravo.
So you write about downsizing though.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to write about.
Yeah, it's really rewarding. So many people think, oh, but you lose all this. You really gain so much more than you lose. You gain financial freedom because you're not spending as much. You gain time because you're not cleaning and you don't have all this maintenance that you have to worry about. You gain more than you lose.
Yeah.
I think it's freeing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And other people benefit from it too. I mean, not every person's life is in the right stage to downsize, you know? So you have a big family, that's probably not the best time to be downsizing when you're, grabbing more and more children.
But we try.
But the good thing is when somebody's downsizing and they're getting rid of their crib, well, guess who gets to have it?
Right.
I all about that, reinventing your things, giving them away and donating them and charities and...
Yeah, there's actually, so we're in the process of getting into emergency foster care. So
Wow.
this is along this vein. There is a South Shore foster care closet. So maybe you're going to have, this is the thing about foster care, you might have a 9-month-old today and a 12-year-old in a month and a 3-year-old, right? It's just going to keep changing. So you can swap out, right? Like it goes back into the pool and you'll get what you need.
Yeah.
Such a smart idea. Because otherwise, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep 0 to 21?
Right,
in
that
the
doesn't
house?
make sense.
Right, it's true. And in all, all different genders and different styles, because this one likes glitter, but that one doesn't,
Wait, there are people out there that don't like glitter?
It's hard to believe.
I can't fathom that.
Glitter's very much my favorite color.
How funny! We need that on a shirt.
Glitter is my favorite color. In glue, though, so that it doesn't get all over the house. So,
Exactly.
Yeah. Sparkle. Sparkle is my favorite color.
There you go. That's nice. I like that. Very good.
And anything else about balance? Anything you would impart to?
Oh, it's so important to just still have passions, I mean, it's normal to have to work. So where you work, try to build in your passions, I love to laugh, and I think that's so important. So I'll do my best to just have a good time. I mean, even if you fake laugh, and this is very good, it boosts your endorphins and you
Yes.
get that serotonin level rising. It's incredible.
Yes.
Have you done laughter yoga at the church?
No, but we have done yoga.
Yeah, try laughter yoga.
Oh, wow.
You're gonna feel like a total idiot and a moron at first.
Sure.
But then by the end, you're really doing full-on belly laughs.
Wow.
Yeah.
I should
So
try that when
healthy.
I'm feeling frustrated.
Yeah. So here's another chiasma that I love. Oh gosh, let me think about it right now because
I don't even know what a chiasma is. What's a chiasma?
Oh, it's like ask not what you can do for your country, but what for your country can do for you.
Okay.
It's like that play on words. So when I said I'd rather try and fail than fail to try,
Yes.
that's a chiasma.
Got it.
It's a literary term.
Okay.
So my dad always says, sorry Dad, I'm forgetting this, but I do work it. Make your motions control your emotions, not the other way around. So it's really not a chiasma. But so many people, when we're down, we're physically down like this, right? Have you ever seen someone like this? Oh my God, I'm so happy. This is like the best day of my life. I'm so happy. We
Sure.
don't act like that. Or, oh my God, I'm so depressed. I'm thinking about like suicide right now. And it's just like, oh my gosh, everything is horrible.
Right.
We don't do that, right?
Right.
So we physicalize our emotions. Our emotions normally control our motions. But we can do the opposite. When you're feeling down, think about physically, what do you do when you're happy? You might sit up straight, you might smile, you might giggle, you might dance. So I love to dance.
Yeah.
So when I'm feeling down, I'll dance and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to dance, and I'll start like a stomp. But then pretty soon it's like,
So
okay,
reggaeton.
yeah, exactly. I do like this song, oh, I'm singing along, I'm having a good time. Well, my problems are still there, but I have a new frame of mind to handle those problems. And it works miracles. Just make your motions control your emotions. It really, really works.
I love it.
Thank you.
That's the goal for the day. Let your emotions control your emotions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to put it in the vault. Let your emotions control your emotions. Right? 15 seconds for something to imprint. Is that right? So.
There you go. Or say it 7 times. That's what I've learned.
Oh, yes. Okay.
7 times. And then
Emotions
it's...
control your emotions. So you can start, for those of you who don't know, reggaeton, right, in Zumba, there's like a stomp.
Yeah.
Single, double. So,
Yep.
Yay, this is fun.
Yay.
What were you going to say?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just like
Oh.
looking
All
through
of
here. Yep. I love photography. I like to incorporate that at work. So I'll bring in photographers to talk about things. I'll bring in my photography, hanging on the wall. We can talk about it.
It's so beautiful. And sometimes she posted on Facebook, so we all get to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Again, I love to write, so I'll try to write and have something to do with work. I'm always trying to dovetail things together, So even though I said I do well when I compartmentalize, I still want to dovetail it into my daily
Yeah.
agenda. Does that make sense?
It's yes.
So the more I can do for work, doing all that I love, all that I want, incorporate that into my work, I think I'm going to do a better job at my work.
Yeah.
People will say, Randy, you've got a lot of energy. Randy, you always have a smile on your face. That's my choice.
Yes.
I have a presentation that I love to do called Choosing Happiness. Because it's a choice. Nobody makes you... Christina, I want you to be upset today.
Right, it doesn't work well.
Has anyone said that?
No, right, it's impossible.
Yeah.
I have tried actually to make my children be happy.
How funny.
Just be happy. Stop
Yeah.
being upset. But it doesn't work.
No, you
Never.
have to choose it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So important. And once you know that, you're in control.
Yeah.
And I also love, there's a guy in Hull. I love anybody that's like a motivational speaker, the optimist. You're great. There's a guy, Neil Wood, in Hull, and he said, and this is something that everybody else has coined also, but he says it a lot. You can control your reaction, but you can't control anyone else's behavior. But you can control your reaction to that behavior.
Right.
That's so important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Embrace change. It's okay to have change, especially if you're in a place where you're not happy. Then don't stay there.
Yes.
Make a change. You know?
Right, which takes a little bit of courage and
big time.
a little bit of uncertainty involved. But there's also like I have found anyways, right? The initial is so scary, and then the next step after you've done it is so relieving.
Yes. Yes.
So
that's why in my downsizing, that's a huge change. And I liken it to a cloud. And it's a downsizing storm cloud, but there's a silver lining. And in that silver lining is all the goodness and all the, I don't have that big house anymore. I don't have the taxes anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about shoveling all that snow anymore. You know, all these wonderful things. It's the silver lining. But making that change is hard. Even people that are moving into Atria Marina Place. These people have lived in their houses sometimes 65 years. You know, and this is a huge change. And I say, I am going to try to empathize with you. You know, I've never been in your shoes, but it's got to be hard. We're going to do our best to make you happy here. We're going to do our best to get to know you and introduce you to like-minded people. We know moving into a community is like being the new kid, not only in the beginning of the school, but in the middle of the school.
yeah.
So, I mean, talk about change. I deal with that every day, and I try to help people through that change. It's a challenge, but it is a challenge that I love because I'm proud to work here.
Yeah.
You know, I love working here.
I love it.
Yeah, and so, you know, I've got dance on here, I've got music on here. Last summer we had a big jazz series, you know, we're always having musicians
That's right,
come
I remember
in.
that.
Yeah,
That
we've
is
got
exciting.
the Situate Band coming this summer. Don Altobello plays here. Russ Costa and Johnny Bluehorn are going to be playing here. Do you know them?
You know, no,
so
because 4 kids, I just...
Yeah, you're in a family bubble right now. That's all right. I'm in a work bubble.
Yes. But they sound great. They have a great name.
Yeah. So again, that's the balance, you know, like I love all this stuff, so I try to incorporate it into what I
Yes.
do.
That's a great idea. So, I want to thank you so much for being here with me. This is so
Thank
much
you.
fun. We originally met on a film set.
Yeah.
And we've done a few now together. So it's been fun. It was a happy meeting to get to meet you. And it's great to hear more of your story. This keeps happening every time we do these interviews. I only know somebody from a small facet, and then we sit down and we have this whole conversation. I learned so much more. So thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for being a part of all of this.
Thank you for
And,
inviting me.
Yes, and hopefully this is inspiring for you as well. So if there are passions in you, if balance is something that you've been working on, and all the things that we're talking about today, you know, steal them, use them, be a part of them, comment on them, whatever
Call me.
you want. Yes. And I'll make sure to get links to some of the things that you're talking about so we can talk.
Fantastic. All right.
Thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.